I dreamed to visit Sevilla for a long time, and this year I've got the chance to visit this beautiful city in Andalusia region. Let me tell you everything about sightseeing, best timing, it is very important, must-haves, restaurants, the transport, and if you plan everything properly, you can visit most of the things just within one day. Interesting? Then let's start our trip. Airport in Seville is pretty small, there are a few shops, cafes and that's it. And it looks a little bit old, so some renovation would be good. If you are 2 or more people, I would recommend you to use the taxi. It will take you approximately 15 minutes, of course depending on the location of your hotel. And the price will be about 15 euros. It is in general pretty funny dependence there, so 1 minute, 1 euro. So I don't know, it happened to me all the time. I used Uber during the whole trip and it worked perfectly for me, so I don't have any complaints about that. And highly recommend, of course, to use it as well. There is also a possibility to go with a bus. It will take you then already like 3-4 times longer with a taxi, so 40-45 minutes, again depending where you live. But the price one way will be 4 euros, and there is also a possibility to buy the round-trip ticket with a price of 6 euros. If you visit Seville during the warm period, so I'm talking about July, August, September, I just want to warn you, it is super hot. And now please believe me, because before I was also listening to that, I said, okay, that is completely fine, I love when it's warm, so it is summer, and especially it was in September, it is a kind of the prolonged summer, but it is super hot there. It might be okay in the morning, so until like 12 p.m, and then it's becoming hotter and hotter until the sunset. By the way, it is considered as one of the hottest cities in Spain. The temperature in summer can go easily up to 45 degrees. I was also quite surprised because in the morning, so like 7-8 a.m, it was still pretty dark. Only after 9 a.m. the sun starts to shine. And if we are speaking about September, the sunset was around 8 p.m. But to be honest, even after the sunset, it is still pretty warm. The advantage is that it's not burning that much your skin. I'd say fresh air would appear maybe after 11 p.m. or the midnight. So maybe that's why there are still lots of people at night in the city. They are just walking, enjoying the time, going to restaurants, walking with their friends and so on. So, to make the long story short, walk up to midday max and then ideally only after 7 p.m. I would say it is important to understand the city map to navigate easily during your trip. This time I marked everything I want to visit in the Google Maps, so I had everything on my phone and it helped me a lot. I would also recommend you to do it this way. So let's look on the map. Here is Alameda de Hercules. This is a big square with trees, the Roman columns, and it's in general a popular gathering place. If you just walk a little bit further, so maybe another 5-10 minutes, then you will reach a kind of the first famous sightseeing, and this is Sede de Seville, or the Mushrooms of Seville. From this place, I would say you are kind of already in the city center, so if you walk further, there will be the streets with the shops or the shopping street, and also lots of places which offer flamenco shows. Then if you go further, there will be still some shops, some cafes, restaurants, and you will go further through the shopping street, and then you of course see the famous Cathedral of Seville, and close to that is Royal Alcazar. And if you go still a little bit further, there will be Plaza de Espana. Close to that there is also another area with restaurants and flamenco shows, and there is also a river in Seville. Here you can find the bullfighting arena. One evening I was driving by and there was a huge queue, so in case you're interested, you need to know that you need to book your tickets. And last but not least, interesting thing which I would mention here in the map is Mercado, the local market where people buy food. So it was just the overview for your understanding where everything is located, so how far it is from each other. And now let's speak about the main sightseeings and what you need to know about them. Let's start with Plaza de Espana. And close to this place there is also the Park de Maria Luisa. It was built in 1928 during the World Industrial Exhibition. And it was, so to say, a kind of the symbol of this event. And of course, afterwards, it stayed in the city. What you can do there? It is a very nice place just to walk around, enjoy what you can see there. There is also a small canal and you can take a boat and just go through it. It looks a kind of the Venice but in Spain. You can also use the horse cart. They are, by the way, pretty popular in the whole city, so they just driving around and show you what is in there. I would say pretty often you can also find there some dancers who present the flamenco show. From my point of view, it is of course pretty nice to watch that, to see that, but I would highly recommend you to dedicate a special time for that, and we will speak about flamenco just in a few minutes. As I said before, so it is pretty hot there, and most probably the best time to visit this place is somewhere in the morning or in the evening during the sunset. Otherwise, this place is pretty open and you are almost always under the sun. By the way, if you are going through this place, through this arc, there are also a few square meters, so around this place, where you can see the pictures of Spanish cities. You can just go around, look at one, at another, they are all different, and the way they made is really beautiful. The next sightseeing is Royal Alcazar. It is an official residence of the royal family. I want to say a few facts about this place because it's pretty interesting. It is the oldest royal palace that is still in use. It is a part of UNESCO World Heritage Site. It took approximately 500 years to finish the whole construction. Just think about that. 500 years. And last but not least, so Game of Thrones was filmed there. What about the tickets? How much would it cost you to go there? First of all, regarding any kind of sightseeings in Sevilla, I would highly recommend you to use their online portals. So it is pretty convenient in the morning or a few days before, if you already know, you can book all your tickets and then you will have everything on your phone, and you can come to the time you've chosen and just go through, because otherwise the queues there might be pretty long. Well, the price for any kind of person, the tourist from around the world, is 14 euros 50 cents. However, if you are from Europe, the price is 7 euros, and if you're a citizen of Sevilla, it is free of charge. Just for your information, there is also a possibility to visit this place for free. Normally on Monday, by the end of the day, you can just enter the Alcazar. But please, of course, check it on their website. Maybe they might change something. In general, you can visit Alcazar anytime, because I would say like 60% of the time you are inside, so the sun will not be a problem. It took us approximately 1.5 hours just to walk around, to make some videos, to make some photos, and just relax in the garden. It was difficult for me to find where is the entrance to Alcazar, and now I will show you on the map where it is. It is right close to the Cathedral of Seville. As we are already there with you, let's discuss Cathedral of Seville. This is the third biggest cathedral in the world, and if we are taking into consideration the Gothic style of the cathedral, this is the biggest Gothic cathedral in the world. Of course, it is a heritage of UNESCO, and close to this cathedral there is a Giralde Tower, which is approximately 104 meters high. You can also, of course, go upstairs, so it will take some time, more than 100 meters, but from there you will be able to see the whole city. So again, you can visit it anytime because you are inside, and if you're speaking about the prices, the entrance ticket is 11 euros. If you are again from Sevilla or you are unemployed, then the entrance will be for free. But what is interesting for us, of course, what is about tourists, is there any kind of possibility to get a free entrance? Yes. Normally there is mass on Sunday, and during this time the entrance is free, and beside that, again on Monday, normally from 4:30 to 6 p.m. the entrance is free. Anyway, again, I want to say, please check the website before. For me personally, it was really more than enough to enjoy and watch the whole cathedral from the outside. But if you're going inside, there is also a place where Christopher Columbus is buried. And now let's speak about flamenco. Of course, in the Plaza de Espana or in any other locations actually in the city center, you can find these artists, these dancers who are preparing the show for you. Of course, you can just give them a few euros for that, but believe me, it's not that atmosphere that could be. There are lots of places which offer a special show and a special atmosphere. It is not that expensive. Normally the ticket is like 20-25 euros. But there are not so many people, it's not that hot as outside, and again, I just want to repeat, it is a really very special atmosphere. And in general, if we are speaking about flamenco and corrido, Sevilla is the place of origin. At least from my perspective, so I'm not a kind of the fan of the bullfighting, but if we're speaking about the dancing, the flamenco, it is a kind of really the must have to do in the city. Where to go? Again, when you will walk, you will get some flyers from different events. You can also look online. So I was choosing between two of them, La Casa del Flamenco and Casa de la Memoria. And in the end, I've chosen La Casa de la Flamenco. I can say it was a great choice, but I want to say that I'm sure that most of the places are also pretty good. Because if you look at their reviews, all of them like 4 point something stars. So then people are pretty happy. And here I found a very smart solution. Because in the beginning I thought normally they are in the evening, like starting from 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m., 9 and so on. And I thought, yeah, of course it is an evening show, we need to go in the evening. But then I thought, it is so hot outside, like for example at 5 p.m. and there is a possibility to go inside to watch the show. And afterwards, when it is not that warm, you can already go outside, have a dinner or whatever. So, again, long story short, if you are okay with that, I would highly recommend you to use a kind of the first shows. So in my case, it was from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and it is a great timing. So just use this tip. As you understood, I went from 5 to 6 p.m. to flamenco, and then I planned an amazing event for the sunset. As you remember from the beginning, so there is the Mushrooms of Seville. There is a special viewing platform on top, so you can visit it from the morning until the evening. But I would say it is really pretty hot to go there during the day. And there is also a possibility to go like either for the sunset or at night. The ticket for the sunset was 8 euros. In September it was at 8:30 p.m. And it's really great because you're going up there, it is not that warm, you can see the sunset, you can see the whole city, and then just minute after minute it is becoming darker, there are more lights in the city, and when it's almost completely dark, then there is a light show. So in the whole roof, it is in general actually pretty beautiful, but then there are different lights of different colors that just going up and down, left and right. Wow, it was really the perfect point of visiting the city. Well, but if you're speaking about the sightseeing as well, it is the world's largest wooden structure, which is approximately 30 meters high. There are 3,500 pieces of wood, 16 million screws and nails, and the weight is 1.3 million kilos. And there is also a funny comparison, or 260 elephants. How everything has been started, so there was a special place for people, for the local market, they were buying food, but it was already pretty old, and there was a decision just to decide what they want to do, to build something new, to build new buildings, parking lots and so on. But people voted no, we need still some place for the gathering. There was a contest where the German designer won, so it was in 2004. And in 2006 they started this project with a budget of 50 million euros. However, during the building, they had to exceed a little bit, and by the end, it was like more than 100 million euros. So just a little bit, right? Besides the viewing platform and the structure itself, in the underground floor there is the antiquarium. So the entrance fee is 2 euros. And there is also a funny story how it was discovered. Originally, in 1990s, they wanted to build an underground parking. So they started to dig, and then they figured out that actually it is the largest archaeological site in the whole city. So of course there is no parking, but very nice antiquarium. If you're interested in the archaeology, of course, it is a must for you to visit. And last but not least, so what I want to mention, Torro del Oro. It is pretty interesting and nice tower, so it had completely different purposes in the last hundreds of years. So it was the watchtower, it was prison, and right now it is a viewpoint and the museum. On Monday the entrance is also for free. It is located right close to the river. There is a very nice, very sweet river promenade. You can just walk around, there are lots of restaurants, very nice view. You can see some of the sightseeing, so really nice. And by the way, there was also a pretty interesting place. So if you're going kind of in the direction of maybe we were lucky and there was some special event, there are different ships which were quite big. Some of them were for the military purposes even, but of course during the event people were able to go inside and look at everything, touch everything, so it was really great. As you can see now on the videos, they also prepared special events, special food. It looked really amazing. So most probably if you are visiting that, you can also check if there are any kind of events which are connected with the sea, with the ship, so would be also cool. In the end, I just want to talk about really nice part of your visit is of course some restaurants and what you can try there. When we are speaking about the drinks, there is sangria and wine, of course. So it is really amazing, especially sangria, because it's so warm and it is so cold. Not so much alcohol, just really amazing. I'm not sure how many liters of sangria I had during 3 days. Besides that, as there are so many oranges in Sevilla and in this region, pretty popular is the orange wine. I personally didn't try that, but if you did, just please let me in the comments. So how did you like that? Paella. Paella is of course what you eat when you're visiting Spain, doesn't matter which kind of city. I tried paella in Sevilla in 2 places. The first one, La Paella Sevilla. There was pretty huge portion, so the price was 6 euros. I cannot say it's like the best ever paella in my life, but it was pretty good, and especially taking into consideration the size of the portion and the price, so why not to go there. Another place where I went, it was already a restaurant and they offered paella. So the name of the restaurant is El Tridoro. You can order the paella there, just minimum for 2 people, and then the price for 2 people is 34 euros. Much more seafood. It was pretty tasty. The portion was also pretty big. If you are looking for the place also, why not to go there? Tapas is another thing which of course you will try in Spain and in Seville as well. There are lots of places which offer them. So I've been in 2 of them. First one was Duo Tapas Bar, was pretty good. And the second one was La Sede. Churros is another thing which is pretty popular. I've got recommendation to go to Bar El Comercio. However, our personal highlight of this trip was a sushi restaurant. Yes, surprise, but it was amazing. So if you're in Sevilla and you like Asian food, you like sushi, oh my god, you have to go there. It is pretty close to the cathedral. The restaurant itself looks amazing inside. It is pretty cold there, which is good. They also offer a special homemade sangria. I don't know if it's like all the time or it was during the time we went there. You were able to have 2 sangria for 4 euros, so 2 euros per person. It was huge, it was super tasty. By the way, lots of alcohol, had liters in this restaurant. The name of the place, Nación Sushi Sevilla. Hope I pronounced it is correctly. Again, just really highly recommend to go there. This was the highlight of all the restaurants we visited in Sevilla. If you are somewhere close to the railway station Santa Justa, right close to that, like maybe 5 minutes walk, Healthy Poke Sevilla. So So if you don't want to go to like the fast food restaurants or something, but you want to eat, I also would go there. Pretty different bowls, smoothies, so whatever you want. And if you want to have, for example, the breakfast or the brunch, but you have to walk approximately 15 minutes from the railway station. It is called Ananas Coffee and Brunch. Also pretty tasty, nice coffee, nice food, very good place. Well, in case you are a morning person, and especially if you are living somewhere in the city center, in the morning you can go to Mercado di Trania. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, it is a local market where you can buy some really fresh food, fresh juices, whatever. So unfortunately, I was not living in the city center and it was pretty hard for me to go there in the morning, so I didn't manage to go there. But based on what I saw, for example, in Italy or in Barcelona, normally these places are really amazing. So you can have a breakfast there or maybe an early lunch. Another interesting idea for you, if you have some time, not just go and eat paella, but there you can also find some special cooking courses how to cook paella in a real, truly Spanish way. So the price of this course, including of course eating what you cooked, is 50-60 euros per person, but normally of course it is a great experience and it is located in very nice places and you can also learn something. In case you are somehow interested in that, will be also a pretty nice idea. I just wanted to highlight a few shops which were pretty interesting and not same as any other cities, for example, here in Europe. The first one, which is close to Plaza de San Francisco, also close to the sushi restaurant and the cathedral, so maybe 5 minutes walk. There's a nice place with very funny t-shirts that you can buy. The prices are not that high, like 10-12 euros. But it's really nice place, pretty good quality, and it is of course a memory for you to wear just in the next years. So you'll always remember where you bought that. What I also noticed, there are alley hop shops around the city and the cities close to Sevilla. Very funny shop with just different things which can be useful, can be not useful, but funny. I'm pretty sure you will be able to see that in the city, maybe in the airport as well, in the railway station, close to the place where we went for the Flamenco show, where everything is made from the local oranges. It is called Orange Tree Sevilla. I bought a few things. Unfortunately, I was not able to take any kind of liquids, but I took a very nice candle, so you see it is still packed, the aroma of oranges, and I really want to try. So I believe, especially now when it's not that sunny and not that warm as in Seville, so it will be a very nice reminder. Just also for your information, one thing which I noticed in Seville, and I was a little bit surprised, that even the young generation, not many people speak in English. So even if you are going to the restaurant, very touristy places, of course you will be able to somehow to communicate with the Spanish in English, but there are not so many people who really speak English. So this was really a surprise for me. Sometimes I had to use my phone and write down what I want. Maybe not that much in the real city center of Sevilla, but in general, yeah, this is an issue which might happen, but I hope you have an internet and you can always somehow ask people what you want. It would be pretty interesting for me to know if you visited Sevilla, if you want to visit Sevilla. In case you have any kind of questions, and I might help you, of course, ask me in the comments. So I will read and try to answer your questions. And in general, please let me know, how did you like this video? Did I inspire you to visit this Andalusia region of Spain? Besides Sevilla, I also visited Cordoba, an extremely nice city. If you don't want to miss this video, of course, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to put like to this one, right? And see you soon. Goodbye.